Nuclear.
Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is the only fantasy app made for fans, by fans. This is the show where we take a look into the details and goings on in the league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing?
Ted, I am doing fantastic. Week one scores are in. I have the sole lead in first place. Wrong podcast again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing fucking terrible. I got my first loss. Thanks a lot, Chase. Thanks a lot, John Parker Romo, for missing your 250-yarders.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. But I'm here. So let's get going.
Speaking of which, today we've got our special guest. You know him. You've seen his calculations. You've seen his made-up stats. Mr. Statman Kyle. Kyle, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. First time this year. Sorry, I didn't come prepared with a dance or anything like Monty did last week, but hopefully I can provide some insight. And we'll keep it short and for Ted's mental health.
Yeah, last week, I want to apologize. It was actually too big to upload to YouTube. I had to cut out probably half of what we had. It was a 3-hour recording. But let us get right into it. And RJ, why don't we get talking about your matchup where Chase heard you yapping and he said, shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. JT with 31, Dalton Kincaid 15, Seahawks D. Looks like Chase, he knows what's going on. He stopped paying attention to Nick Bosa. Apparently, Chase forgot to give him like potassium pills. He tore his ACL or something. But RJ, you had a little touch of the genius with Caleb Williams. And then you probably should have started DeMont too. But Gibbs got you 24. But Kamara was 6, Neighbors 2, Kelsey 4. And you had Tony Romo in as your kicker. Makes no sense to me. But RJ, that's a rough loss.
Yeah, Tony Romo would have got the exact same amount of points. It makes it even worse because I had Spencer Strader at one point, the Colts. So if I kept him, then I would have won. But again, like you mentioned, I did pick up Caleb Williams last second. If I didn't do that, I would have scored 20 less points. So you win some, you lose some. But yeah, terrible John Parker Romo missing those 2 field goals. Like I said, loved Caleb Williams, and I think he might be my quarter. I was going to ride streaming quarterbacks from now on, but I might be sticking with Caleb Williams because it was Sunday morning, and I looked at my roster, and I was like, why am I just always starting Kyler without even thinking about it? Because he only scored 15 and I think 16 points. It wasn't great. But the big thing, this can go back podcasts, like years in our podcast. I've talked about. I always get what I think good players on bad teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens in those blowout losses? Kamara lost by 31. Mm-hmm. London got shut out 30-0. Achane lost by double digits. Neighbors double digits, and I talked about my floor earlier. I thought I had a really solid floor, which in the breakdown, I still finished 3-4. But my team, I will have players score low just off of blowouts from how bad their teams are. I mean, Neighbors I saw was minus 9,500 betting odds to get 15 yards on FanDuel. That was an actual bet. And I'm very sorry if someone lost a parlay on a minus 9,500 odds. And then Chase's team, scored 118, but it still felt like there's room to grow there. Looking at the how the point system went. I mean, JT's looking like he would have been 1-1 if people knew he's going to be the lead back like this. Kincaid, probably one of the best tight ends, consistent threat for Josh Allen. Still looking a little scared for Jamar Chase after that performance. But again, one of the blowouts, is that going to start happening to the Bengals now? Is Chase going to shop Jamar Chase maybe?
Ooh.
Chase giving away a Chase. I don't know. But you got to take those wins. You got to take those wins while you can. Congrats to Chase.
Kyle, you got anything to say about this matchup?
Yeah, a couple things. Caleb Williams, QB2 through 3 weeks right now. So could be a massive pickup there. Neighbors with the Jackson Dart Show starting next week. Could that be good? Could it be bad? I don't know. Feel like in the past with rookie wide receivers, it's like either, or with rookie quarterbacks with really good wide receivers, it's really like either they put up like 25 points a game or like 2, depending on, there's really like, I can't really think of like an average middle ground, but it seems like that. With Chase's team, also with the Gibbs and Montgomery thing we talked about like 5 different times last year. Going forward, could you play them both? I mean, it would have been better. Like you would have added probably what 20 points, playing them both. So, but then with I don't think there's any cause for concern on your end, though. I mean, top to bottom, I agree with your high floor there. It's just pulling the right levers week to week. But I think Chase's team is really good. I mean, with Jonathan Taylor, the Colts are a wagon, and I mean, they give them, if they're up like they have been in these blowouts, like just give him the ball to run the clock the entire second half. He'll just pour on the points. Mahomes a little scary. I mean, I know they won, but like, I don't know. I don't know if he has it anymore. Like, it just seems like he's always been, like the last 3 or 4 years, been kind of a shitty fantasy quarterback. And this year it just seems like they're just, I don't know, they might not have it. Brian Thomas, terrifying. I wanted to draft him. Thank God Chase did. Because if I was going to draft, I think I had the next pick and I was pissed that he picked Brian Thomas. So thank God he took him, or else my team would be even worse than it already is. And then, yeah, Jamar's scary with Jake Browning. Obviously, like, what are you going to do? You had to take Jamar Chase 1-1, but like that really sucks. Obviously, I know too, with having drafted Joe Burrow in like the 5th round. So all in all, though, I think Chase is fine. He's deserving 2-1. I would say far and away top half of the league.
How about ovarian cancer and Cam Scattaboo on his bench too?
Yeah, and with Najee with the Achilles, going to be a lot of carries for ovarian cancer.
Mm-hmm. I think he's definitely he's kind of treading on your territory, Kyle. 2 up and coming young running backs.
It's true.
Tyrone Tracy's out with his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Seems tough. And I know
Cam Scattaboo is like the dictionary definition of the human body craves contact. Like he just literally just runs with his head straight down into the person in front of him.
He led the Giants in like every offensive category this last week, like targets, receptions, receiving yards, rushing yards, obviously touchdown.
Yeah, and I mean, well, then ties back into Jackson Dart too. How's that going to look with him? But
we will see. And now talking about rookie running backs, why don't we get to your
thrashing, rape,
try? I was gonna say your try this week. Jack beat you 112-74. Absolute nightmare of a week. Saquon with only 7.5. Marvin Harrison Jr. with 6. Bowers 8. Genty 6. Ooh, those are a little worrying. Jack was carried hard by Jalen Hurts. I'm sure that had to hurt watching. Kyron Williams with 18. CeeDee Lamb with 0 points. I wasn't paying attention. I saw that. I was very confused. Very confused by that. But RJ, if you'd like to shed some light on, maybe what positives he could see. And you don't have to talk about the other team.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I had was, Kyle, there's really not much good to talk about your team. So I don't know really what you'd want me to say, Ted, if you want me to talk about something good. I mentioned the Bowers.
You can just pour it on. It's okay.
I mentioned it weeks already. Bowers and Genty feels like when I had Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall 2 years ago. One stat for the stat man, you might even have this. Ashton Genty has 144 rushing yards this year, and he has 146 yards after contact.
I saw
that. Then he has one.
Is RJ frozen for?
Hello?
Okay, all right.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he has 101% of his yards coming from after contact, so he's consistently behind the line of scrimmage. And then not only that, this past week he had a 60% snap rate. Very scary going forward there. I mean, the Raiders are just a mess. I don't know what they're going to do. He had no offensive line blocking, pass blocking, or run blocking. So I have no idea where they're going to go. Marv looks terrible. Looks like the Monsters took his talent. I mean, he's just dropping balls, running terrible routes. I don't even know. Saquon hasn't even gotten 90 yards this year. And I know he had 16, and then 7 this week, but hasn't even gotten over 90 and has only once gotten over 60 rushing yards. And then the guy Kyle played, I couldn't give 2 shits about him, so I don't really want to talk about his team at all. So, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, so I guess a few thoughts. I missed the beginning of like the first half of the noon games on Sunday, and by the time I sat down, it was like already over. Like I had already lost. So I was like, okay, well this is fun. The one bright spot I will say is like I don't think anybody is bad on my team, but I also don't think anybody is good.
That's tough.
So if we're talking about floor, I mean, I guess I have the lowest floor clearly because I just set the record for the lowest in like 2 years. But my coach, if you go to the coach on NFL Fantasy, like I didn't start one right person. Like I am so far in the bottom, and that's kind of been the problem with like I don't know who. Like my bench outscored my starters by like 30 points. Mm-hmm. If I left 40 points easily on the bench if I swap people out, and that would have been a win. So not all bad. Never root for injuries, but CeeDee Lamb out for a while. That's huge for George Pickens, especially with that Cowboys offense, like putting up a shitload of points. I guess last week was probably pretty bad, but I'm going to have to probably do the stack that you talked me out of last week going forward because Javonte Williams, I think, is running back 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 after last week. But, yeah, so Marvin Harrison's going to definitely hit the bench. And then I like Judkins going forward a lot. His volume was very solid. And then the Genty thing, I mean – the only thing I was promising about it was his carries have been like 20 a game, even though he's only playing like 60% of the snaps, like you said. But when he's in, they're giving him the ball. It's just their offensive line is fucking horrible. I mean, it's not even Geno's fault that like Brock Bowers isn't getting the ball. It's literally like he takes 2 steps and he's just getting absolutely destroyed. So that's, I mean, I don't know. I thought like with Pete Carroll, like they had Marshawn Lynch back in the day, or like even if you go further back to USC with Reggie Bush, like they just absolutely pound the rock on Pete Carroll teams. So I thought it was a lock that he would be solid. I didn't account for the fact that their offensive line is fucking horrible. So that's a problem. Going forward, I think we're all right. The panic button hasn't been smashed yet. There's a lot of options to be played. Just got to find the right lineup. And like going back to last year, I was 7-7, like in the regular season, and ended up making the championship. So
you're 7-7 in the regular season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 500. But the other scary thing is my low score last season was 97 points. So that 74 is a lot less than 97. So and then I guess. We're skipping Jack. I forgot. So, all right,
no,
I'll get on my.
If you want to talk about him, you can. I just don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts, fucking unbelievable game. That comeback was sick, and then, yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, his running backs are probably pretty good, but those receivers are tough to look at. Although Rome on his bench, though, pretty good. I think Rome is like wide receiver like 3. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
He's the number one target for sure. Well, all right, moving on to the next game. Speaking of, people you hate to see win, Kevin beat me 97.04 to 96.22. Absolute heartbreak for me. I needed on Monday night, I needed Amon-Ra to outscore Zay Flowers by, I'm not even going to bother myself with the math, by 18 points, basically. He only did 15 points. You know the drill. It was just sad to watch. Low points for me. My star player, Brandon Aubrey, only taking home 8 points. That was tough. Chuba, low. Lad McConkey, someone I need to, if I were a bitch, I would say, Lad, you need to step yourself up. But, I'm just going to kind of watch. And even Tyler Warren, it seems like he's getting a lot of targets, a lot of catches, only 5 points, not troubled. Hopefully he'll grow into it. And then on the other side, Kevin, he was talking real smack, saying, "Oh, you lost to the team you'd kill yourself if you have." Well, Kev, what was he in the breakdown? 2-6? He was 2-6 in the breakdown.
5.
By less than
2-5.
He's talking all this crap, but Nico Collins did get him 18, JSN 18. Jaguars D I thought was interesting, but that paid off for him. But I stand by my point. I hate Kevin's team. Looking forward, Chase Brown on the Bengals, who suck ass. Josh Jacobs, they just got exposed. The Packers. Jaden Daniels is essentially Robert Griffin III. But yeah, that's all I have to say to
that. Yeah, 2 very yucky performances here. Feel like there was a lot of yucky performances overall this week in fantasy, but Chase Brown, 10 carries for 3 yards. I could talk about him like this whole podcast, all the random stats I've seen. What's one thing Baker Mayfield, Miles Sanders, Jeremy McNichols, and Russell Wilson all have in common?
They like
more rushing yards. What'd you say?
Good. Never mind. Keep going.
more rushing yards than Chase Brown. So Russell Wilson, Baker, Jeremy McNichols, all of them. Especially with all the opportunities he's getting. Chase Brown for the season, 3 games, has 47 carries. He has 93 yards. That is less than 2 yards a carry. Terrible. And then Ted, for you, I got a stat. Did you know? I mean, Lad McConkey's he's the 3rd wide receiver right now for the Chargers.
Yeah, he's just takes up their cornerback 1. He gets double covered, and then they just never throw it to him.
From targets, it's Keenan Allen, and yards, it's Quentin Johnston. Keenan, to go back to my team, he's the only receiver in the league that has 60-plus yards and a touchdown each week so far. And he has pretty much taken over that second slot position, especially with how much the Chargers are throwing the ball this year. It's that's interesting to see what you're going to do going forward, because I was huge on your wide receivers. And they're still good, Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown, but now put Lad in the flex, or Travis Etienne. I don't know. Jerome Ford's done because Quinshon Judkins is now the guy in Cleveland. So I don't know where you're going to go from there. And then to go to Kevin's team, I'll talk about it once we talk about each team. But yeah, when you go in the breakdown, he's consistently at the bottom, which in my head would very much scare me. And I'll be completely honest, when I saw, and I think we talked about this earlier on earlier podcasts, Ted, I actually like Kevin's team looking at it. Like, I like his running backs, but I'm a big opportunity guy. And Chase Brown, he's getting those opportunities, but he's doing jack shit with it. So maybe I need to start rethinking what I think is a good team, because I'd be scared if I'm Kev. But, like I said with Chase, a win's a win. So you got one.
Yeah, got to feel good to see one go through the hoop, get the monkey off your back if you're Kev at least. Ted, for your team, I mean, your receivers are unbelievable. If like with the JJ Amon-Ra 1-2 is got to be the best in the league, at least with name brand wise. I mean, on paper, yes, on paper, yeah. Name, that's what I meant. Name brand. I rode that James Cook train last year. It's so much fun. They just give him the ball every single time he's on the field. It's unbelievable. As far as Kevin's team, I don't have like a ton to say, but I do have a bone to pick with Kevin.
Ooh.
So on Sunday, we were both hovering our hand over the panic meter as things were progressing a little bit. And there were maybe a couple trade rumors being floated around between the two of us. Nothing set in stone or anything, but we were just discussing asking prices for certain players. And we were talking one of my running backs, because I have 4 that I would consider like you could start on pretty much anybody's team, at least maybe in the flex, with Quinshon Judkins coming up. And Kevin has 2 very good wide receivers in Nico and JSN. And I don't agree with RJ. I think Kevin's running backs are horrible. I never saw the Jacobs thing, and Chase Brown has proven he's just been fucking dog shit the entire through 3 games. So that was the trade we were trying to work out. And I texted Kevin, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I would rather have JSN over Nico, because I don't know if you have the target share available, RJ, but I'm like just watching the games, they throw it to him on every single play.
I don't have it available, but yeah, I would actually agree with you. And I think I've told Kevin that I'm a JSN over Nico Collins guy as well. Yeah.
So I said I would rather have JSN over Nico. And Kevin responded like that. He's a monster. I agree. And he said, he's my only untouchable. And I was like, okay, that's totally fine. But no problem with that. So I said, all right, do you want to do Nico for Genty or Williams? Because JSN is clearly your only untouchable. And he said, it's got to be Saquon if we're doing Nico. You can respect that. No, I can't.
What?
You just said your only untouchable is JSN. I'm not trading Saquon Bar. I'm not trading the number 3 overall pick for your second favorite player. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
And I said, well, you just said JSN is your only untouchable, so I have to give up my 3rd overall pick for your second favorite player. And he said, I like Nico more, of course, which is not what you just said. And so then he said, but I also realized he could be huge in a trade, JSN sneaky, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck it, whatever. I don't care. We're clearly not doing this. And then literally that was on Sunday night. On Monday afternoon, he texted me and said, oh, no. And then I said I would do 2 for 1, whatever. We were just talking more about it. But then, so the ball is in his court. I literally have made him an offer for a trade. And he texted me on Monday afternoon, appetite for a trade league-wide is 0. I said, I made you an offer less than 24 hours ago. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he was like, I still need Saquon. I was like, okay, then you have no appetite for a trade. I would do a trade. I've given you plenty of offers. Yeah. So anyway, that's my only bone.
I like that trade. Like, even though I like his running backs, if you were to get, like, if you did 2 for 1, like if you were talking like, I mean, this is kind of pushing it too, but I just think that if you got either or both, either Genty or Bowers or Javonte, Jordan, just like, I just don't like having, me personally. I agree. Skill position the same. If you could get rid of one or both from the same team to get different players, that would be smart. But that the Saquon, that's kind of
I just thought, I was like, that felt fair in my head. Like I didn't feel like that was like a trade rape or anything either. I was just like,
JSN's untouchable, but he likes Nico.
Right. I was like, what are you talking about? You can't have it both ways. You can't have like 2 different guys. So anyway, whatever. But I'm only airing that out because clearly it's not happening. So it's like, okay.
Wow.
Whatever.
Kevin might just start be feeling the heat after seeing where he is on the breakdown, and that he needs to make a trade. He needs to do something, and he's just trying to rape someone quick to hopefully up his team.
Yeah. So I don't know. If anybody needs a running back, I would happily take a wide receiver. And another thing too that I forgot to say also earlier with my team is like I feel like when any team that is good, you have like of your 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and flex, of those 5 guys, like 4 of them have to be just like no doubt. Like if they're healthy and they have a game, you're playing them, and then you can fuck around on the 5th one. All 5 of those on my team, I could put like literally 3 different guys week to week, and I have and one of them is going to do well, but I have been horrible at picking who that guy is going to be. So I would love a guy that I can just have and I will play every single week when he's playing.
Are there any tight ends like that this year? Like if Bowers isn't, I mean, you're going to start Bowers, but
oh well, yeah. I mean,
is anyone performing to that way? I haven't really looked at the tight ends.
I think Trey McBride has gotten like
he finally scored too.
He might be the only one who's good.
Yeah. I remember like it was a few years ago that we were at one point talking about getting rid of tight end to put another flex because the whole position was so bad.
Yeah, thank God we did the premium.
Can you guys guess who tight end 1 is right now? Just no looking, just guess.
I think
I have it up. Yeah,
Henry, isn't it?
That is so surprising to me.
Because he has 24, and I think he has like 1 and 3 or something the other 2 weeks, like something pretty low.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The number 1 drafted that we actually drafted is Trey McBride, and he's 5, and then Bowers is 8, and Tyler Warren's 9.
So what's the top? Who are the top 5 tight ends right now?
I just have who was drafted. I don't actually have the
top 5 right now: Hunter Henry, Tucker Kraft, Dalton Kincaid, Juwan Johnson, and then Trey McBride.
Wow, that is
the top 2.
That is yucky.
But I think
murderers row. Jeez.
Yeah, I think they all, besides Dalton Kincaid, I think the top 5 or the top 4 are just guys who had 25 in one game and then 5.
Juwan Johnson, I have him on my bench, and I honestly might start him over Travis Kelce because he does get some targets. But
yeah, I took a swing at Colson Loveland in the draft, and that has been just a train wreck. I was hoping I could stash him and because I drafted McBride and Bowers last year, and so I was like, maybe get lucky again and boost my way into a really good player, and no, he's fucking horrible.
Ooh, wait, we still have one matchup to talk about. This one was a real heartbreak, especially for a guy that I think everyone was pulling for. Monty, he was down, I think, 28 points. We had talked about it on the pod, where that was almost the region where he thought he might be able to win. But Lamar with 33 edges Monty. But Trevor also had CMC with 19, Kenneth Walker with 18, Puka with 17. That lead in Trevor's pretty decent squad. But Monty had some great performances. Josh Allen, 29, was good. Colts D was a great pick. And I think someone who Monty should be really happy about is Jordan Mason on the Vikings. I think while J.J. McCarthy's having, I think, a uterus put in, I think he should be happy for Jordan Mason, but it just wasn't enough to stop Trevor. RJ, what do you got to say about Bink's heartbreak?
Yeah, I don't have anything written down. This is as far as I got on my notes, so I'm just going off the dome here. But I would think that even though the script in the Vikings-Bengals game was obviously they're just going to run the ball, I would think that this game would prove Jordan Mason to be the starting running back from now the rest of the season, like even when Aaron Jones gets healthy, just from how well he ran the ball. What would really sting if I was Monty is he talked like so much shit about A.J. Brown, and if he played him, he would have won. That sucks. Or if he just kept with his receivers like Ibuka too, he got 11 and just started A.J. Brown in the other spot, he would have won. Chris Olave, he got 10.7, but one thing I didn't realize, he's leading the league in targets, right now. I mean, the Saints are ass, and who knows how close those targets even were to Olave, but he's leading the league in targets, so there's something. Bucky is also it was a career high in touches for Bucky. I knew that. So that's big. It just, 128 and getting a loss for Shea sucks.
And how it happened. It happened was just brutal.
That is so bad. Trevor, pretty much everyone looks great. Mike Evans is hurt. Who would he put in? Might be looking for a wide receiver too. I don't know if he's counting on Trey Tucker to be that guy. But in his slot or his flex, I'm not a big fan of Bill Krosky Merritt. He wasn't even the starting running back for them. But yeah, another great week for Trev when it comes down to the breakdown, which again, I'll bring up something later. He's consistently at the top and looks unstoppable right now.
Yeah, first off, Monty, I'm sorry, that was just brutal to watch. Like, why didn't David Montgomery go down? Like he could have, the game could have been over. And then as soon as he didn't go down, I was like, Monty's fucked. They're gonna go, like, this is over.
That was a 3rd and 24 or something.
Oh yeah, it was like Justice Hill broke that tackle. Like it was over. It was so over. Oh man, God, that would suck. But for my money, like these are I don't understand how Monty's 0-3. Like this team is good. For my money, these are the 2 best teams in the league. At where we stand right now. Obviously, think injuries, whatever, things can change. But like, I don't know, top to bottom on both of these rosters, it's like I would take every single one of them over every single one of who I have in those positions. It's like, God damn it. So yeah, I don't know. But obviously it would suck waking up Tuesday morning if you're Monty, but like Monty's going to be fine. This isn't, I don't think it's long term.
He's got to win this week. I think we need to go back. We need Statman to do a little research going into this week for past starts 0-3, 0-4, what that means for Monty, because 0-4, that seems like a deep hole.
Yeah, it does. I don't know, but I can try and find it. I don't know if I can do, I don't know if on NFL.com you can do week to week. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'll look around.
I think you can on the computer. I think I've done it before, but it might just take a while. You can't do it like right now. That would be kind of a decent amount of work.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling this weekend.
Well, that is it for the week 3 recap. Next up, I want to say good job to Monty. Even though he didn't win, he was still 3-1 in his picks.
What about the Binky bets?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the Binky bets. Hold on. Let me pull those up. I got to take a look. They probably went really well. He was very confident. Let me see. Binky Sama bets. Now, RJ, do you know if anyone put any money down on them?
I do not.
Did you put down any money on them?
I did not.
Kyle, I know you definitely would not because sports betting is illegal.
Yeah, I don't have a bookie or anything.
But all right, let's take a look. Josh Allen, James Cook to combine for 125 in the first half. No. Discount double bank. Patriots, Steelers, the under. I think that hit. Steelers money line. I think that hit. RJ, did Jaylen Warren get a touchdown?
He did not.
Darn. But here, this one was a gimme. Bears first drive to give up a sack. Caleb Williams.
It was a 3 and out, and there was no sack.
Did you know I think this was the first game. This might be wrong, but I feel like this might be right. I think it was his first game without a sack ever.
The whole game?
Yeah,
really?
He did not get sacked the entire game. And I think
that's definitely the first time that's ever happened.
So Binky went 0-3, so maybe it was a little bit of karma that he lost.
I wonder what the odds were if you could bet Caleb Williams to not get sacked the whole game. I wonder what that would have been. Probably Probably plus $1 million.
A real tough week for the Binky bets. Kyle, I think you had some fun ADP draft stats, but I think the most fun stat was that you had the record low score. How far was that? Like, is that all time or is that just?
Oh, I don't actually know. I was just going off what you guys said last week, just since I was lower than Jack. So I don't know if that was actually like record low, given like we've added PPR and we added tight end, like all that.
I think it was since we brought in PPR. That's the lowest.
It was definitely since last. I have last year's everybody's week by week written down in here, and it was lower than last year. So
that's got to sting.
Yeah. Another thing too, kind of tying into everybody having low scores. Last year, average score was 116.7. Through 3 weeks, we're at 109.
Whew. Yucky.
So even with Kevin's rule changes on defense and tight end premium, still down 7 points a game.
Well, there is no tight end premium. Let's just say that.
Right.
Yeah, that is rough. I think that's just good players have not been as good going, and people like Jawan.
I feel like we start kind of slow though. Everybody's kind of got to get their lineup set for the year.
Which one's that, RJ?
This is Maxwell. He actually did go to the vet yesterday and get his shots.
Oh,
so that's why I thought of that excuse.
Did you take off any time for that?
I'm taking it off today.
No. Okay, you just transferred the time.
Yep.
Well, that's it for the first half of the pod. We've got a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
You know me. I know what I'm doing. I can win it all back. My luck is changing. I'm going to strike the big one. Imagine what we can do. One more try. I promise I will give it all back.
Welcome back. I believe we have nothing. We're kind of rolling a little bit, more on time, but who knows?
We have breaking news.
Brian
Daboll says that the QB switch is permanent and Jackson Dart will be the starting quarterback the rest of the season.
Until
he gets injured and tears his ACL first snap.
Then Jameis is in.
Yep.
That MetLife turf.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it's time to get into the Week 4 preview brought to you by ASICS Sportsbook, Sound Mind, Sound Body. RJ, hit us with it.
As we begin the preview of Week 4 of the 2025 ZFFFL, I must remind you of a great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL ASICS Sportsbook, ASICS Footwear. This week's spotlight, the ASICS Nova Blast 5. Springy, responsive, and built to go all night. Whether you're pounding the turf or just trying to stay in rhythm when the play clock's running low. ASICS. A sound mind is a sound body.
Well, let's just get right into it. I think not just because one of the members is here, but we've got a marquee matchup. I'm calling this the Pontiac Lowrider matchup because this are two lowriders of the league, Monty versus Kyle. Monty desperately needs a win here. He needs Bijan and Josh Allen to save him. Honestly, if I were Monty, his team is looking good, but he might start panicking, start wheeling and dealing. Kyle, you on the other team, your team looks like, I think what you've been saying, your team looks like it, it'll do okay week to week. But I think you really need a Saquon nuclear performance. You can't have him get lost on the Eagles offense. But we'll see. RJ, what does the sportsbook say about the line for this one?
Yeah, I personally don't have any notes on this matchup, but I will say I'm pulling it up now, and I see that the Bink has made adjustments by putting Ibuka into his lineup, and he still has A.J. Brown on his bench. So he is not falling for last week's performance. I see Monty get started Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. with Jordan Mason and the Vikings defense at Pittsburgh, but it is being played over in Afghanistan. Good luck there to those guys. And that this matchup will finish with Garrett Wilson, who Kyle has in his starting lineup right now, Monday night at Miami. Love Judkins in the starting lineup, Kyle. I love going with Tet in the starting lineup too, really changing it up at receiver. Marv and were you starting Tet already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I started Tet last week. Usually on Tuesday, I just click optimize, so my projection is as high as it can be, and then I'll actually make adjustments from there.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you go with the with George Pickens on the bench, with CeeDee Lamb out, because if you want to go at the flex, then you'd have to take out Javonte Williams, or would you maybe put in George Pickens instead of Tet? Regardless, love your team, but again, you're playing a tough 0-3 Bink team that is hungry. But the book, they have you, Kyle, minus 4.5.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, kind of tying back into what I said earlier with, I don't know who to play at those 5. I hate Javonte Williams against Packers defense, with Micah and revenge game, all that. So I have a feeling George Pickens will probably make his way into that slot if I had to guess, but nothing set in stone there. Also, I kind of want to start Drake May. He's quietly quarterback number, I think, 5 through 3 weeks. So I haven't decided there, but Justin Herbert has been very solid pickup. 2 good options with Burrow. I don't know if he's technically out for the year, but he might as well be. Monty's team is, like I said before, I think it's probably the second best team, or worst case third, and he's somehow 0-3. I am going to have to come back quite a bit, and we're going to have to all sit on bated breath as Garrett Wilson tries to light up the Dolphins.
I would hate to captain him.
Which, oh God, I can't not pick myself though, so I will pick myself.
With the points, I think that's fair. Our next matchup is, important for one, not too important for the other. We're calling this the Liquid Death Waterford Drive matchup. This is Teddy at Trevor. Can Trevor's hot streak continue with his big 3, almost big 4 with Kenneth Walker really stepping up? But Lamar, Puka, and CMC looks like they've just gifted him 74 points, Kyle's floor, those 3 players, and then everyone else just adds on to it. I need Ladd, JJ, or Tyler Warren to finally have a breakout game. I need them to start talking with Amon-Ra in the locker room, saying hey, how do you get out from just being the decoy all game? How do you get out from being double covered? They need to think about that. But I think this is going to be a tough one for me. Real dog fight. But RJ, what does the book think?
We'll get a good gauge after Thursday night with Kenneth Walker and Trey McBride for Trev's team going, and then finishing it with J.K. Dobbins for you, Ted, Monday night. I'm going to be honest, Ted. I look at these matchups right now, and I do not like your matchups whatsoever, mainly because Justin Jefferson is playing at the 9:30 a.m. game, and I never see those skill players do well. I swear it's always a low-scoring game over in Afghanistan, and they just really can't get anything going. Probably something with the turf or, I don't know, bombs. I'm not sure. But, yeah, Ted, sorry to tell you the book agrees with me, and it's Trev minus 6.5.
Whoa.
Wow.
Taken.
This is nothing against Trevor's team at all. I just hope Teddy wins, so that way we did everybody still stays pretty close, and there's not a runaway with one of the buys. Because if Trevor's 4-0, he's pretty much locked into the playoffs, at least at that point, with how the tiebreakers would shake out. It would take like a massive collapse. So I hope, Ted, I am pulling for you. I agree with everything RJ just said on the matchups. Those aren't really great. But I'm going to bet with my heart. So I'll take Ted plus the points.
Feels good. That's going to be a tough one. Next, we've got the Ancestry.com Who Am I matchup. Both of these teams, I think, are a bit questionable. Who are they? What's their team identity? Chase coming in after a statement win over RJ. Kevin squeaking by like a little baby back bitch. But Kevin is trying to prove himself. I still hate his team. Chase Brown on a terrible offense with a terrible line. Jaden Daniels is hurt. Jacoby Myers on a bad Raiders team. I'm not buying it. And Chase, on the other hand, I think he's on the up and up. JT is electric. Ovarian cancer is spreading to other vital organs. Jamar Chase is a big question mark, though, but I also love Cam Scattaboo. I think he'll be the X factor for Chase going forward, being a bell cow like that. But RJ, what does the book think?
Yeah, looking at this, I love Chase's team right now. Looking at that starting lineup, and I think when the book might have been making these lines, they kind of forgot about Cam Scattaboo. I think ovarian cancer wasn't even in his starting lineup there. But for Kev's team, yeah, Jaden Daniels was limited today at practice. He is going against number 4 defense against quarterbacks in Atlanta. Other than that, Kev is really going his pass catchers, well, except for Zach Ertz, his receivers have really good matchups facing number 24, number 28, and number 29 defenses versus receivers. I will say I have Jacoby Myers on my bench in a 12-man league. So starting him at the flex, I think, is a little bit questionable, especially with Trey Tucker getting those 3 touchdowns last week. He might be the new receiver in Las Vegas. I love Chase's team, and I'll go with what the book has right now as the odds. It's Kevin -3.5. I don't know what that is for.
Wow, that feels like a trap. I don't know why he wouldn't start Michael Pittman in his flex. We'll see. I was just looking at it. I was like, is he hurt? What is going on? But he seems fine. So I will say,
okay, looking a little bit further, Jonathan Taylor is facing the number 1 rush defense in the Rams, and DK is facing the number 1 defense against the receivers in Minnesota. So maybe that's what the book's saying.
Yeah. Kevin was awful quiet the first 2 weeks. He was 0-2, and then he won 1 game with the third lowest score, and has had a lot to say. I'm not going to fall for the trap, so just give me Chase, just because I'm still mad at Kevin. So I'm not going to pick him.
That's good. And now our last matchup. This is the marquee ZFFFL marquee matchup. This is the Steve Irwin Jungle Fever matchup, because these two are going to be fighting like animals. Big keys for this game. Can RJ put aside his hatred to play a good, clean game? Riding with Caleb Williams, we'll see how that goes down. How are you going to juggle the David Montgomery Gibbs? What's Neighbors' outlook with a new quarterback? Who knows? Jack, he needs Jalen Hurts to actually have to score. I know Kyle is against that, but if Saquon runs it up, Jalen Hurts goes down, I feel like they have an inverse relationship. Also, Derrick Henry, got to be worrying about him. 3 fumbles in 3 games. Maybe the Ravens will bench him. Who knows? I've seen it happen before. Jack might be worried about that. But RJ, what does the book think? And keep in mind the book.
Yeah.
The book.
Right now, looking at my starting lineup, some just god-awful matchups. I mean, I don't see a good matchup to have besides Spencer Strader facing the Rams, number 27 defense against kickers. But besides that, everyone else has just terrible matchups. I feel sort of like where Kyle is. I could like in your skill positions, you need to have guys that you feel comfortable, like most of them starting every week. And I mean, I might start Keenan Allen, who's on my bench right now, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Adams, Alvin Kamara's on my bench, David Montgomery, I might start him. Drake London, I'm probably gonna bench him. And then Rashee Rice, I will keep him on my bench. But I mean, I might even put Trey Benson. I don't know. But so going off of what I'm seeing from my lineup right now, it is -3.5, but I don't even know who I'm playing or anything about them. So that's all I have.
I love the Caleb Williams thing. It's only been, I guess he really only had one good week, but it was an unbelievable week against a team that people thought would at least put up a better fight than that. So I really want you to do Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery at the same time. I think it'd be so fun, especially after last year. And then also I love Trey Benson with James Conner being out for the year. If you can't tell, I haven't really looked ahead before any of this, so I'm kind of making it up as I go. But I don't know. The Chiefs' defense has been pretty solid. I don't like that against Derrick Henry at all. I'll go with RJ. Why not? What the hell? Grudge match.
Yeah, RJ over the team who will not be named.
And I love Robert Irwin. I just want to make that be known.
Going to throw that out there. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's suave. He's not a loser like Steven Neteronzak.
Not at all. And he's a good dancer.
And with that finishes the week 4 preview. Under an hour. That's pretty good. Actually, on one of the matchups, it does look, I did hear, it was on a podcast, that Andy Richter is actually dealing with a sore hip and that he's going to need, wrong podcast again, but keep that in mind going forward. But RJ, Kyle, any last words? Kyle, you got any leads on some stats you're thinking about?
2 parting thoughts for everybody. Number 1, as far as the injury luck goes, Jack has still not had a player miss a game yet, sitting at 0 games missed. RJ is sitting up, and Trevor are tied for the worst so far. Everybody's pretty close through 3 weeks, so it's not like it's all over the place. With the made-up draft stat, the only reason RJ is really in last is because of Caleb Johnson. He's him and Rashee Rice, but Rashee Rice gets removed, so no big deal there. And then Ted, last parting thought, you and Trevor are in a race for the first one to win 100 games. You're sitting at 98. Trevor is at 96. Chase is at 95.
Ooh, 100 would be crazy.
Would be the first to hit the century mark. Would be big.
Need 2 wins. That's crazy. We'll see. This will be a huge matchup for that. That just changed my outlook.
And then looks like Chase is chasing for the first to hit 20,000 points in their career.
That is
19-3 is what he's at. Nobody else is above 19.
That's insane that Trevor and I are above him. Or no. But Chase has, I feel like he's had the most almost 200-point games.
For sure.
Out of anyone.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. A nice quick pod. Let me check. 40 minutes shorter than last week. Who knows why? But, if we don't have anything else, as always, thanks for listening to the Zion Football League, Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure to get those bets in for a Thursday night game. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at ZFFFL FF Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always,
Fuck you,
Fuck
Trevor.
you, Trevor.